Hey everyone, it's Giga. So today I have something special for you guys. This is some of the jankiest shit I've come up with, but it's surprisingly not that bad. I really wanted to show this off. So this is like a culmination of ideas. Way back several months ago, I was talking to Bebo Yu-Gi-Oh! About what to do with Scareclaw, and he mentioned using Tournament Skipper. I also saw recently this crazy Luna Light FTK on Combo Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel, so I'll post those videos down below. And I kind of had the idea, I wasn't really a fan of the Luna Lights that much, they're pretty inconsistent, but I kind of thought, wait, maybe you can do the same thing, but with the Tournament Skipper Scareclaw stuff. So that's what you're going to see today. You're going to see this janky FTK with all that stuff in it. Here we go. So you can play a lot of copies of Tournament Skipper, one of which being Silent Mining. You also see Small World in hand. I also have like some extenders you can add off of them, just in case. So we're going to reveal Lightheart with Tournament Skipper and then link into him. Then Tournament Skipper activates. We only are playing the one primitive planet, so I don't have Lightheart, but you do want to chain block the Tournament Skipper if you can. Then we go into Reichart and search our one-of Scareclaw rival. I'm playing a very small Scareclaw package, as you'll see. Like, all these are one-ofs, pretty much. So here I can use Small World to go into an extender. I'm playing just the one Scareclaw Acro as something to add in case I draw one of these guys, or also I am playing Fury Ray map. We're doing some link plays. We go into Parallel Exceed, and then we're going to go into the Raid Raptor 4 Strix here. Raid Raptor 4 Strix is going to add King Lania, so you might have seen some Raid Raptor shenanigans before. So we're going to combo off of that here. Go into Y Strix, you'll notice that we have the right card on board still, because we had an extender. You can just go straight into Raider's Knight. So I forgot to mention this, but this FTK is Tournament Skipper, plus you do need one extender, which there are plenty of ways to find an extender. But even if you just draw the one Tournament Skipper, you can still end on a negate board, so it's pretty fine regardless. And here I did kind of realize my opponent was playing Labyrinth because of the Labyrinth sleeves, and then I saw they could activate something, so I just stopped caring about their potential interruption. So here we have the rank up magic, then we can summon back the 4 Strix and go into Beatrice. Some crazy shenanigans you can do. Pretty easy Beatrice access here just from a rank 4 engine. Now we're going to send Catapult Turtle, which seems weird. You're like, okay, didn't they change Catapult Turtle a while back? You can't just like tribute things off, like you can only tribute one time. Well, one time's all we need here, because we're going to use Arc Rebellion Exceeds Dragon to go to 10,000 attack. What do you say? Okay, that's not enough. Well, we're going to Exceeds into Dugaris, and maybe you'll see where this is going now. Dugaris' effect is going to activate. No, we're not special summoning with him. We're going to double Arc Rebellion's attack, so now he's at 20,000. So now all I need to do is find a way to get Catapult Turtle on the board. Turns out we have a lot of link material on the board. We can go into 2 copies of Ib, and then we can link off the Ibs into Princess, Coral Anemone. And then we can just summon back Catapult Turtle, lost into waters, but we're done with summoning at this point. And then we just tribute Arc Rebellion. Catapult Turtle does not say original attack, it says attack on the field. That's just the game. Right there. So I think this FTK is pretty funny. I really liked it when I saw it on Combo Yu-Gi-Oh! So again, shoutouts to them. And I'll go through my deck list. Alright, so here's the deck list. I'm going to go through the card by card, some of the options I chose, maybe some alternative options, and where you can cut off some ultra rares potentially. First up, we're on Triple Effect Veiler. It is a very good hand trap. Why are we playing this over Infinite Permanence? Because we're on Small Worlds, although we're only on playing 2 right now. You could opt for 3, but I think we're on 12 ways to find Formative Skipper, which we need for the combo, so I think that's probably enough without Small World. Plus, Small World is a hard once. We're on 3 4-bit Skipper. This is the central combo piece of the deck. This card is cracked. We're using it to its full potential here. It searches out Parallel Exceed, giving us a rank 4 play, and it can change its name into a Scareclaw and pull off the Scareclaw combo. So those aspects are pretty damn crazy. You're going to plus like crazy when you summon this. Round triple Maxine, pretty standard. Round triple Ash Blossom, pretty standard. I'm on one backup Secretary, something to grab off of Silent Mining if we already have Forbid Skipper as an extender. Because in order to pull off the FTK, we need Forbid Skipper and any extender. If we have just Forbid Skipper, that's okay too, but won't be able to pull off the full FTK. We're on the one Scareclaw Acro. You saw this in the replay. It's something we can grab if we already happen to have the Rykart in hand, or if we have PRA map but also drew Forbid Skipper. So good to have these weird one-ofs to search as an extender. I'm on the one Mimicry Lanius. This is mostly just for if you only have the Forbid Skipper combo but don't have an extender, or maybe you got interrupted and can't pull off the full FTK. So in that instance, I like that so we can grab our trap card interruption, but you definitely could cut these in favor of maybe more hand traps or something along those lines. I'm on one Sanglanius, grab it as part of the FTK. I'm on one Token Collector. This is a Small World bridge for all the hand traps, essentially. You could opt to cut Small World and Token Collector. I'm a little bit unsure of it myself, to be honest, but Sword Soul is still pretty common, and it completely destroys if you happen to draw it. Plus, it's a level 4 for rank 4 plays. I think this is probably the best option if you do want to play all these hand traps and still play Small World, so I'm playing it for now. We're on one Raider's Wing needed for the FTK. It's a 4 body, and we can reuse it because we need to make a lot of rank 4s during the combo. We're on the one Rykart. I love this card. I love Scareclaw in general. Probably see from other Scareclaw video I have, play a little bit of Scareclaw, Phantom Knight. I'll put a video link up there somewhere. I'm on the one Catapult Turtle for the FTK. I'm on one Scripton. This is, again, if I already drew the Parallel Exceed, something I can get off of Forbid Skipper, because Forbid Skipper has to grab a level 5 or higher Cyberse. This is essentially another Cyberse extender. On the one for one, the impossible card to find in the Master Duel Search, but it summons Forbid Skipper, so we're playing it. We're on the one Rank Up Magic Soul Shaved Force, part of the Raid Raptor combo to go into Beatrice or Cyber Dragon Infinity, depending on what we're doing. I'm on triple Silent Mining, pretty staple for every Cyber deck. I'm on 3 PRA map. It's definitely really good in this deck, but I'm not a huge fan of this card, especially if you can't pull off an FTK and you're setting up a board. Because essentially, if you're going to pull off the turn 1 combo, let's say, but not FTK, you just set up a negate board. And you're essentially going to be starting off the game with 2,000 life points, because this has your life points, plus the Rank Up Magic has your life points. So I don't like that aspect. It makes you a sitting duck. Very easy to kill. I'm on 2 Small Worlds. Again, I already talked a bit about this. We are managing our deck quite a bit for this, and we're only playing 2 of it, so you definitely could cut it. Maybe only play 10 copies of Turbid Skipper, play other extenders maybe, I don't know. We're on one Scareclaw Arrival, part of the Scareclaw combo FTK. We're on the one Primitive Planet Rhyphobia, part of the Scareclaw combo. We're on double Called by the Grave, pretty standard. One Cross-Out Detonator for Pesky Maxi, because we cry if that resolves against us. And we're on one Raid Raptor's Phantom Knight Claw. Again, a trap card we can search as part of the combo if we are doing the negate board with just Forbid Skipper. Next is the extra deck. Let's jump into it. We got one Force Strix, would play 2 if there's space, but space is extremely tight in this extra deck, so keep that in mind. We are on one Dugaris, part of the FTK, one Raider's Knight, part of the combo. We are on one Arc Rebellion Exige Dragon. This card is quite good in general, even though it's part of the FTK. We can also just use it to OTK on turn 2. It also negates everything, so if we can get this out, that's great too. We are on one Cyber Dragon Infinity as our backup plan. Instead of going into Beatrice off of the Rank Up Magic, we can go into Cyber Dragon Infinity if we are just going for a negate board. We are on one Beatrice, as you saw in the combo. We are on one Salaman Great Almirage. I guess this is kind of a flex slot, but I would recommend really playing this because there's going to be some hands, for example, where you draw a hand trap and Parallel Exceed, and you're going to need to go into Almirage with Taylor. When one Scareclaw Lightheart, this card is insane, just in the amount of advantage it gives you. We're on double Ib, part of the FTK here. We just need to be able to go into any Link 2 water monster with generic materials, or at least mostly generic materials. I did look if there's any other potential link twos, but this is really the only one. Run 1, Raid Raptor Wise Tricks. This card almost makes Raid Raptor good. It at least makes them good for janky setups like this, so that's something, I guess. Run 1, Marince's Crawled Enemy, part of the FTK. Run 1, Brute Enforcer. In the replay, you saw me go into Dark. I realized later that there are going to be some instances where I will not be able to go into Dark, so I changed it out for Brute Enforcer. I'd use something more generic. I'm on 1 Appaloosa, part of the Negate board, if that's what you have to make. And I'm on 1 Access Code Talker. This is the true flex slot, only one of it really. You could make an argument that you don't really need Access Code Talker if you have Arc Rebellion and Exceed Dragon, but there will be times potentially where you use Arc Rebellion, Exceed Dragon as part of your Negate board, and then it gets outed, and then you need to clean up the game. So Access Code is in there for that particular reason, but that's never happened to me, although I haven't been grinding this deck too much because I've been trying a bunch of different stuff recently. Alrighty, so now let's talk about ultras that are cuttable. We don't need these hand traps necessarily, but they are pretty stable, so hopefully you have them by now, but if you don't need to absolutely play it. Unfortunately, you do need the Scareclaw Ride card. Unfortunately, Konami hates Scareclaw players like myself, so you have to doubt if you want to play it. You don't need 1-for-1, you could play that 3rd copy of Small World instead if you want. If I don't mind, I won't really consider it because you could just buy in the structure deck. For Salaman, great. I would highly recommend that if you're going to play any sort of Cyberse deck at all at some point. Again, Scareclaw, Ultra Rares, you gotta dish out for them. Don't need the Called By or the Cross Out, but they're staples. Hopefully you have them by now, but if not, you could play anything else. I mentioned this in most of my videos, but there are plenty of other stuff you could use. You know, you have access to DD Crows, super rare, Skullmeister. These are hand traps that you can use that aren't ultras if you just need to use something. There isn't really a direct replacement for, I would say, for like Called By or Cross Out, but you could just play stuff like, I don't know, Lightning Storm or Evenly Matched instead if you want. Make it better at going second at least. Unfortunately, for the extra deck, it is pretty tight, and you do need these ultras really to pull off the combo. You don't necessarily need Cyber Dragon Infinity, but it definitely makes your turn 1 board of just the 4-bid skipper way worse. I would recommend it. Same with Almirage, you don't really need it, but I would recommend it for those niche scenarios I mentioned earlier. And for Appaloosa, it's the same as Cyber Dragon Infinity. If you don't have it, you're going to have your turn 1 board with just 4-bid skipper be a lot worse, but it's technically not needed if you just want to play the FTK and don't care about any backups really. And Access Code Talker, like I mentioned earlier, is a flex slot. Definitely could cut it in general. Alrighty, so that's the deck. That's most of what I wanted to say. I did want to mention you could potentially put like a math mech engine in here because it's Cyberse and extenders kind of and rank 4, but just be careful. Some of the Cyberses do lock you into Cyberse only and then you can't pull off this FTK. Even just having circular in here for an extender could be pretty good, but let me know in the comments below if you have any other recommendations or what you think about this monstrosity of a deck. As always, if you enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'm working on a few videos that I'm trying to get out before the new cards come out, but you can definitely expect me to look into those new cards. Definitely very interested in them. See you guys in the next one.